in the previous episode of Kampung Quest. Both camps face off in a crucial physical quest. Cindy of Obor defeats Dini of Muara to send Muara to the campfire. Dini mentally breaks down and gives the exemption totem to Vivian over Jason. Welcome, urbanites, to the campfire. How you doing, Jason? You're looking a bit stressed.
Really sad about our performance today. Really wanted that win. It will, really mean a lot to us.
Dini, excellent show today, I think. From the first quest to the last. Yesterday, you were being called out for being the weakest of Muara. I think today you proved that you are definitely not. Vivian, have you thought about who you're going to be voting for tonight?
Yeah.
That's yours. Interesting. Vivian got somebody to give him the exemption totem. He didn't earn it. You passed the totem to Dini. And Dini passed it to Vivian. Dini, I think I want to hear from you now.
For me personally, I don't think I can make it far. Even if I had that totem, I think either way, I don't think I could have won it. So I'd like to see my teammates push for it. Try to do something that I can't.
So you're saying you think Vivian has a better chance of winning than Jason does?
I think so, yes.
Even though, based on what I have seen personally, it has been Jason that has been stepping up to the plate constantly. Even though Jason volunteered to fix the river source. Jason volunteered to go into the mud pit. Jason, do you feel that if Dini was going to give away the exemption totem that you gave to her, she should have given it back to you at least?
Yeah. That was what you're supposed to do, I trusted her with the exemption totem.
It's time now for you to vote. Dini, you're first.
I think this person is not fit enough to go on for this quest.
All of you have placed your votes. There is one more thing I would like to say. Tonight, there's a twist. This is not an elimination campfire. However, I will still collect your votes, and we shall see what the votes said. Let's have a look, shall we? One vote, Jason. One vote, Dini. Two votes, Jason. Didn't you look surprised? What was the plan? I would assume that we have a pretty good idea as to who voted for whom. Then you look really shocked. Vivian, you look disappointed. Why? What did you expect would happen? That Jason would be voted out? Vivian just had to make the choice between who he wanted out. And he could have had it whichever way he wanted. Let's get a little bit deeper into this. I'm sorry, but this is way too juicy to let go. Vivian, you wanted Dini in Muara with you still because obviously you voted for Jason. Dini, obviously whatever the original plan was not your plan. What's the story with that?
Guess it was all up to him.
I just want to remind you that Kampung Quest is a game where there is only one winner. It doesn't matter which camp you're in or which camp you're from. Dini said so as much herself. You are physically, potentially the strongest player in the game. And to decide on a whim that you want to go home just like that, that's very disappointing to hear.
If you said that I'm the strongest among all here, why don't you pass me the exemption chapter?
That is a good point. I think the three of you have a lot of talking to do, a lot of issues to resolve, because as far as I'm concerned, all three of you are still in the game. All three of you are still in the same camp. And if any one of you wants to win this, you will need to play to win. You make the decisions that is best for you. I think your best decision is to play as Camp Muara and win quests when they come up. Muara, you will now go back to your camp in the jungle, and we will see you again tomorrow for another day of quests. You may go. Thank you very much.
Living in the jungle again for the third time, I've really gotten used to it.
3 hours had a quarrel last night about who's gonna go back and who's gonna have the exemption token.
What happened at the campfire last night was all lies.
I voted for Dini. She's giving us that faith that she's the pity face that she really wants to go back home. She misses her family.
I thought I was gonna go home. Jason was voted out, but then in the end there was no elimination.
I was so lucky not to go back home and still surviving in this Kampung Quest. I need to thank God for that.
Originally, the exemption totem was received by Jason. He gave it to Dini. Dini wanted to go home. She said she'll give it to me.
Dini wanted Kivian to have that exemption token. I deserve it more than him because the original owner of the exemption token was me.
I've gotten a second chance in this. I'm gonna put my head in the game and not let anybody stop me.
Good evening, Urbanites. Tomorrow, we will be moving to a new location. The quests get bigger. The challenges tougher. Take everything you know, everything you've learned from Kampung Quest, and use it. Tomorrow, your adventure continues.
We all kind of expected that we're gonna move into the jungle, but so jungle.
We have to start everything from scratch. There's no beds or mattress like in the compound house.
As soon as we got to our campsite, we're just starting to gather dry stuff so we can start a fire later. It's not as cold as the jungle where we were at before that, so I was quite grateful. I was like, oh, thank God, we don't have to trek through the water at night. We don't have any stuff here. We don't have mats or tent. Camp Obor is doing pretty good. As usual, we have a really strong bonding. Mia has always been a big inspiration. She's pretty good at giving speeches that will keep us pumped up. Even though she has a sprain on her leg, doesn't affect Obo Camp much.
I wouldn't say Mia is a liability to us. Maybe if she doesn't do like physical quests, she can help in our social and mental quests.
The game is getting tougher. It's getting even tougher every single time. It's kind of hard for me, but we will try to figure things out because humans always do impossible things. Last night, I expected Jason to get voted out since Vivian and Dini were the original Muara. So when we saw three of them together, we were like, hey, what's going on?
My relationship with Ashley, we're very close. She's the youngest in Kampung Quest. So I guess all of us treat her as our little sister and we just take care of her.
Today, we will move to a new location, blindfolded.
This location is much more comfortable than the one we previously lived in. We have very limited supply of food. Just a can of baked beans, and I think we're gonna have that for dinner.
Jason has gotten fruits, langsat from the trees for us to eat. Vivian's not really doing much.
We're trying to light up fire before the sun goes down to keep away from the bugs and mosquitoes. The whole quarrel thing became a really big issue last night. I just want to take the responsibility. I was mentally really down and I was so pissed off because we didn't really win the last elimination quest last night.
Jason is good, better than yesterday. Hopefully he does his best to keep us surviving in the jungle here.
Physically I'm prepared, mentally I'm prepared as well. We have to get stronger and much more better than the Obo. We only have 3 more days to go.
Urbanites, I have a task that will require one member of your camp. You have 30 seconds to decide who your representative will be. Have you decided? Who are they? Muara?
Me.
Vivian? Or Nick? Very well. The rest of you, you can go back to your camps. Vivian and Nick, please remain. Vivian, Nick, you've been elected as the representatives from your camps respectively, but I will need to speak to you individually. Nick, I need to ask you to leave us alone for a while. Vivian, how are things in Muara now?
Compared to last night after the campfire, things are much better. We are not so confused about how we determine stuff and we have a common goal for each of us as a team.
So you say things are good?
Yeah.
How do you feel about your standing in the camp?
I feel pretty good.
So you're positive they will not vote you out?
Yes.
Then who will they vote out? Somebody has to go if you're in a campfire.
I would say it would be Jason.
Vivian, I want to make you an offer. I am going to give you the chance to stay in the game. Give you the opportunity to be one step closer to being the winner of Kampung Quest. I want to give you exemption from being eliminated at the next campfire. But you will have to do one thing for me. I will need you to make sure that in the next quest, Muara loses. Do you accept or not?
Only if Muara loses.
Only if Muara loses do you get exemption.
No.
Are you absolutely sure? I am guaranteeing an exemption for you.
Wait.
Remember, you have to think about yourself now. Kampung Quest is only about the individual as a winner. Do what's right for you, Vivian.
I accept.
You do. Remember, only if Muara loses. Very well. Thank you very much. You may go back. Nick,
Yes.
how's life in Camp Obor?
Good, very good.
Things are tough down there, aren't they, though? You guys gave away your tent, gave away your mat, gave away your baked beans. You pretty much set yourself up for the toughest night out in the jungle. How do you feel about that?
There's a bit of regret, but I guess we can make it through the night.
If you could take it all back, would you?
I would.
Would you expect that maybe Muara owe you a little bit of a debt of gratitude and they should offer you something else?
Yes.
Very true. But I don't think that offer is coming soon enough.
Yeah,
I, however, have an offer for you.
okay.
I would like to offer you the chance to stay in the game longer. It's guaranteed. The chance to make sure that you are off the hook no matter what happens at the next campfire. I would like to offer you exemption from elimination. All you have to do is one thing for me.
Which is?
I will need you to make sure that in the next quest, Obor loses.
I don't know whether I can do it.
Think about it. I've said it before. It's an individual game. You have to do what's right for you. Whether taking this deal, that's up to you. But it is a guaranteed step closer to winning Kampung Quest.
I think I'll pass.
Is that your final answer, Nick?
Yes.
You're absolutely sure?
I'm very sure.
Very well, Nick. You've made your choice. You may now return to your camp. Next week on Kampung Quest, does Vivian keep to the deal and intentionally lose in the next elimination quest for Muara?